wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry for Raheem Mostert. This defense for the Vikings, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Lance looking to throw it. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And right away, he lost the football. A call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Lance eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Off the play fake. Harper. That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Harper. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Second and 10. Off play action. Harper. He'll get this to Nwangu. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down and put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you. And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
And he's not able to getaway. Sacked back at the 22. Pass rusher extraordinaire. D Ford that time getting the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll check that down to Nwangu out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And his kick is indeed good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. First play's a run with Nwangu. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now this throw caught left side. They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the San Fran 20. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Harper. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Handoff here to Nwangu. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. 6-0 our score after 1. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. from just inside the 20, a short kick. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now Lance. And that's incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. On 2nd down, Mostert. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And Lance now to throw. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is Jakeem Grant. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Lance on target to Samuel for a Niner first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Following the fumble recovery, Harper drops this off with Nwangu. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, Harper finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. He'll buy some time right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he makes it all the way down to the 31.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Shotgun now for Lance. He'll swing this out to Mostert. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. Now it's the backup Newton. Flushed out, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Cam Newton, as the first half is winding down. And the Niners are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we'll see what they want to do. Just 20 seconds remaining here before the half. They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And this one complete to Smith. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. A final shot before break. Harper, he's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On the give is Nwangu.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw. That was a thing to behold there.
They'll try and throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And the formula there on the two-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd and long, it's Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, an 80-yard touchdown. And the 49ers are back within a score. Now the 49ers electing to leave the offense out there and go for 2. They'll look to throw. That's caught, and he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Harper. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Off play action. Harper. Escaping the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd down. Harper. And that is incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
Here's Newton. Rolling to, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Newton now to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Harper. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
To throw on 3rd down. Harper. Looking left side, and it's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. They'll look to throw again. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Anthony Walker just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Harper. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Harper. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. They'll run for it. It's Nwangu. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw. Harper. They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. He's at the 50, 30, 10, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
That's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
All right, now what can the Niners do as they face a big 2-point conversion here? And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up their lead to 3. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have to try and move past that pick 6 because now they're dealing with a 4th quarter deficit.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. D Ford picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you're probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him out to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. After what they've faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
And what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle.
Touchdown 49ers! George Kittle. His third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. A short kick taken at the 18. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a two-score deficit. Now a throw here, hauled in. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations. Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Throwing on first down, Harper. That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. On first and 10, Harper. They'll get this to Nwangu. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. From the gun, Harper. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. Mostert, and he drops the ball. And the Vikings pick up the football. And this one will be brought back to the 22. They were direct with us. They said last week his 3 fumbles, we want that to be an aberration. Another one right there, though.
And it's going to drive them crazy because we saw them coaching, and all they talked about is the 4 points of pressure when carrying the ball. Fingertips, forearms, biceps, sternum or chest, keeping it high and tight.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Makes the score Vikings 31, 49ers 31.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. Now it's Lance. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Gross. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Throwing now is Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
Lance now on 1st down. And here he's got Graham. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Operating from the gun, Harper. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.